What is up, bros and broettes? I am Inkslasher, and welcome to another episode of Versus. Today we're going to be talking about some LMGs, which we actually haven't yet talked about in Infinite Warfare. Today we're going to be looking at the R.A.W. versus the Mauler. These are probably the two most used LMGs in the game, and they make for a really interesting comparison, so I think it's going to be a good Versus episode. Now, before we get started in looking at the stats, I want to know what you guys think. Which one of these weapons do you think is going to be the better one? Let me know down in the comment section below which weapon you think is better, and by the end of the video you'll see if you are right. Also, if you enjoy these type of videos, if you like the Versus series and want to see more of them, the way to show me is by hitting that like button. The more likes this video gets, the more likely I am to make more videos just like this one. So as always, let's start off with damage, and LMGs are very interesting in the damage department because for all of the LMGs in the game, they only have two damage profiles. For example, the R.A.W. deals 34 damage up close and 30 at long range. This means it is going to be a 3 to a 4 bullet kill. So two damage profiles. It's very easy to look at. Similarly, the Mauler, the damage profile on the Mauler is 30 damage up close and 23 at long range. So very clearly there, the R.A.W. has a 3 to a 4 bullet kill, and the Mauler has a 4 to a 5 bullet kill. So very clearly the R.A.W. has the better damage profile and gets +1 point. So next up we've got the rates of fire, and this is where we can see the big difference between these weapons. So first of all, the R.A.W. has a rate of fire of 491 RPM, and the Mauler has a rate of fire of 750 RPM. Now this is to be expected. Generally speaking, when a weapon has a much better damage profile, it'll have a much worse fire rate than the other weapons. So this is kind of what's to be expected. So for that, the Mauler is going to get +1 point, tie it up. But oddly, this isn't the big difference between these two weapons. The big difference is actually the range. Now, normally, it's not always worth giving out points for range, because generally speaking, weapons that are in the same class, so for example, LMGs, shotguns, whatever, have very similar ranges. This is absolutely not the case for these two weapons. So the R.A.W. drops from 34 to 30 damage at 56 meters. The Mauler drops from 30 damage to 23 damage after 20 meters, a very, very short range, especially for LMGs. So for that, the R.A.W. is definitely going to get +1 point. There is a massive difference between these two weapons in that case, and this is the reason why, if you're using the Mauler, it kind of feels like a pea shooter. Like, it drops off to a very low damage profile, taking 5 bullets to kill very, very quickly, and even compared to some SMGs, that's a bad range. So since we have the range, the damage profile, and the fire rate, we can now look at time to kill. And time to kill is actually very interesting in these two weapons, because you'd expect it to be very different, simply because they have very different damages and very different rates of fire. However, that's not the case. In fact, up until 20 meters, both of these weapons kill in 0.24 seconds. The difference is when it comes into the ranges. The ranges have a huge impact on the time to kills, because the R.A.W. is going to take 0.24 seconds to kill up until 56 meters, where the Mauler is only going to have that 0.24 second time to kill up until 20 meters. So between 20 meters and 56 meters, the R.A.W. is going to have the better time to kill. However, after those 56 meters, the Mauler is going to have a faster time to kill. However, most gunfights you're going to get into in this game, especially with LMGs, are going to be between 20 and 56 meters. So it's an absolute huge deal that the R.A.W. has a better time to kill in that range. Now, what's even more impressive is it almost has a better time to kill by 0.1 seconds. It's 0.08 seconds, but that's a very, very large difference. So because of that, the R.A.W. is going to get +1 point and extend its lead. However, it's not all bad for the Mauler. The Mauler does have one stat that's a little bit better than the R.A.W., and that's the magazine size. Now, the mag for the R.A.W. is a 70 round mag, which is a pretty damn large mag. However, the Mauler has an 80 round mag. Even though both are incredibly large, obviously 80 is better than 70, so for that, the Mauler is going to get +1 point. Another thing that's similar with all LMGs is the aim down sights time. They are all the same at 0.3 seconds, which isn't actually too long for LMGs. It's pretty average if you're comparing it to other Call of Duty games, but the reload speeds for these weapons are interesting. So the reload speed for the R.A.W. is about 4.1 seconds when there's bullets still in the magazine, and 4.3 seconds with an empty magazine. Whereas when we look at the Mauler has a reload speed of 5.5 seconds with bullets still in the magazine, and about 6.65 with an empty magazine. So a pretty large difference between those two weapons. Obviously, the R.A.W. is reloading a lot faster, so for that, it's going to get +1 more point and extend its lead. So the final thing we have to look at is the recoil and how easy both weapons are to control. So between the two weapons, I think Mauler has more recoil simply because it has a faster fire rate, therefore making it harder for the center speed to kick in, therefore having more recoil. Whereas the R.A.W. has that slower fire rate, so the recoil is a little bit easier to control. Now, between the two weapons, I do think the Mauler is easier to aim with, however, simply because it has a better iron sights. However, with the R.A.W., I do like to use some sort of optic attachment, whatever your favorite may be. But overall, I'm not going to give out any points for that just because there's both positives and negatives for both weapons. So overall, it looks like the R.A.W. is the winner. And this kind of goes with what I thought was going to happen between these two weapons. Really, when I use the Mauler, it does feel like I said earlier, am using a pea shooter. It feels like every single bullet I hit someone with, it's not doing nearly enough damage. Not to mention, with the damage profile that the Mauler has, most weapons, aka the SMGs that have the damage profile of that in this game, have a much faster fire rate, including some of them that have the exact same damage profile have a fire rate of over 900 RPM, while the Mauler is stuck at 750. So because of that, I think the Mauler just doesn't pack enough bang for its buck, therefore making the R.A.W. a better weapon. But let me know down in the comment section below, do you agree with me? Do you think that this is right? Does it support what you said at the beginning of the video? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you liked the video, it'd be fantastic if you could hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I upload new Call of Duty videos every single day of the week. And thank you guys so much for watching. You can check out my Twitch, Twitter, all of that crap down in the description. And until next time, peace out.
Maybe you should take it slow.